what about deepfakes?
Oh, that's right. Okay. We had a conversation over the weekend where you mentioned that you didn't think deepfakes were going to be a big deal. And I was like, what? But then I had to like restrain myself because I was like,
what's deepfakes?
we have to save this conversation for the podcast. So here we are.
Yeah.
Now, deepfakes are a thing that have come out over the last year or two, which is basically an image processing effect that uses machine learning to help make really realistic fakes. But at the end of the day, basically it just means transplanting someone's face onto the body of someone else in a video or an image or something. And it's remapping all the facial features to that person's face, no matter how they're moving their head. And what it comes down to is you can literally make anyone do anything or say anything at the end of the day.
Have you seen the video of Obama saying stuff and he's talking and it's actually voiced by Jordan Peele? It looks like he's saying it, but he's not.
Is it a Key and Peele skit?
No, it was actually for BuzzFeed.
Oh, no. I've never seen that video.
Okay. It sort of went viral, and that was sort of the trigger that everyone freaked out because people were like, oh, you could use this like politically to make a politician say something.
Whoa.
Yeah, because so this is what, yeah, exactly. You can make anyone you want. You can put them in a really difficult position where it's like, I can make this person be amongst really racist people saying really racist things when that person is not a racist. But there's video evidence now of them doing this. And it destroys any foundation of trust because that person, especially now, can be like, oh, but that is fake. And before deepfakes were a thing, it was like, well, what are you talking about? No one can do that. Obviously, it's not fake. But now, not only can you do that and put them in a difficult position, they can deny it and be like, no, it's fake, even if it is a real video.
Mm-hmm. The video is not authentic. That video of me punching a baby.
Yeah.
Somebody faked it. So here's the thing, right?
You don't think it's a big deal?
I think the media is doing what they're very good at, which is making people scared of new technology.
That is fair. They do that.
Okay, so for starters, it's not new, okay? The ability to make somebody say something. Forrest Gump came out in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
That had politicians saying and doing stuff that was not them, obviously. That was 94, okay? So the difference is they needed a huge team of very skilled artists to make that look real.
Right.
Whereas now it can be done by a 13-year-old on his little crappy computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not new. It's just that the barrier to entry is now so much lower. Okay. But you still have a huge challenge ahead of you, okay, to make something to look real. Okay, so if I was to Photoshop someone doing something, you could probably fool a lot of people, right? You could put it in front of like a photo expert, a forensic person to have a look at it, and he might adjust the levels, figure out that he might be able to spot that it was fake.
See the scars.
Yeah. With a video, you've got 30 frames a second and the added challenge of animation on top of it. So you've got to nail it 30 times a second, and you've got to do the animation just perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to look right. So it is actually a big challenge. There's only been a few videos. There's only actually one. It was somebody put Nicolas Cage on Rachel Adams' face.
I've seen that one.
Yeah. Okay. That's really the only one where I've been like, okay, that's actually very good. The others, a little wonky. And if it's like even one frame off as they turn their head that the nose doesn't exactly line up, it's like, it's off.
Yeah.
The blinking is another big one. Doesn't blink enough. The eyelids don't.
No, certainly, because humans are very good at reading faces. That's why the whole like
Incredibly good.
uncanny valley thing is like the closer you get to like actual reality, the further away you get because it's like it's uncanny. It's something seems off. But here's the thing though. Those are all just technical current limitations. Hypothetically, let's say we get to a point where machine learning has gotten so good that it can just take any input of a video and any input of a face and replace a person within that video so flawlessly, even machine analysis can't tell the difference between what is real and versus fake. Because that's just like, if you throw any amount of progress, it's like at a certain point, it's going to get that good, assuming that rate of progress maintains.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, all evidence is pointing to that rate of progress is actually accelerating.
It's gonna get there, man. Like, so you're skeptical that it won't even happen?
No. Okay. So it probably will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for one, a lot of people are just saying, oh, AI will figure it out, which people say that a lot. It's the magic box of AI. Like, yeah, I mean, it'll do it. It's going to get there eventually. Like, will it though? I mean, you don't actually, I mean, people have been making wild predictions since the 60s about AI.
Yeah.
Alan Turing himself predicted that a machine would pass the Turing test by the year 2000. Back when nuclear power was big, they thought that we were going to have nuclear vacuum cleaners. In the 1950s,
That's great.
they thought when they had rockets that we were going to be delivering rocket mail, right?
Oh, wow.
Like when you deliver international mail by rockets, right? So there are predictions
that
don't
still be a thing. Maybe. Maybe if SpaceX is successful, that is their exact mission.
Yeah. So the thing is like, yeah, it looks it looks convincing now. There's still a lot of limitations. And will it get there? Yet to be decided. I did a lot of research on the AI thing. I haven't seen any AI yet be able to understand the geometry of something, the depth. And I feel like that's a big part of this.
Okay.
Because when the big tell is like the moment they turn their head, the perspective doesn't line up properly. Like the lighting has to match it as well. You've got to put the highlights in the right area because the skin has to reflect it, the right thing. Like understanding, I feel like understanding the geometry is a big part of it. There's also other tells, like you can, like the blood actually goes to the face, and you can see that there's actually I don't know if it's got a name, but it will enhance the shades of blood in the face, so you can actually see blood pumping to the face. Okay,
Wow.
you can't see that in this AI, this neural network thing. So that's a big tell. That's not there. But then maybe that'll be there in the future. They'll figure that one out. The eyelids, they'll figure that one out. Okay, let's say that happens. Okay, what's the downside of videos no longer being truthful? What's the big scare? Because they're saying the sky is falling.
Well, it just makes it so that everything is deniable. I can go out and literally punch someone in the face with full well knowing that lots of cameras are around recording that. But then I can turn around and literally be like, no, that didn't happen. And you have to prove that it. But it's like if your only proof is a video that is fakeable, like where I mean, I'm not saying that it's an impossible challenge to solve. Deepfakes being such a common thing that anyone can just do at 100% quality. I'm just saying it's like it is a challenge and it is a problem. I think.
Yeah.
And I know some people are some politicians are starting to introduce laws and bills into place that would
Australia's got one.
Would make it illegal to make a deepfake or at least it would make it illegal to
against somebody's will.
Yeah, put someone's likeness against their will onto someone else's thing. And
like there's a girl in Australia who she doesn't know who's doing it, but they keep making a deep fake of her, doing like porn acts.
Yeah,
and she doesn't know who's doing it.
Wow.
And they just keep uploading new and new things, and she's like, so that she got a bill passed in Australia.
And I'm not entirely convinced that making it illegal is a bad idea. I think it might actually, I mean, but I don't know, because then you might just reduce the widespread use of it so much that it will happen. Because it's still going to happen, you know, like crime still happens.
Yeah.
But then it might just be less so that when it does happen.
You think these people are like uploading it currently under their real name?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Of course, it's not, yeah.
But
they're already shady. It's a bill. What's it going to do? Nothing.
I mean, if the repercussions are strong enough, it might make them think twice.
Well,
you know,
people still torrent.
Yeah.
People still download illegally. Like,
yeah.
You get a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, we found you downloading this," and it's like,
okay. So here's the other side of it. Okay, so it would erode our trust in video.
Absolutely.
Yes, just like we've already done with photos. So this is the thing. It's directly comparable to Photoshop.
Yeah.
In the 90s, when Photoshop started becoming a thing, think about how scared people were when Photoshop was around. Like, oh my goodness, you can't trust photos anymore. Now you can see when there's you could Photoshop the president doing something that he didn't do. You can make him look like he was performing sexual acts on someone.
Yeah.
This could cause World War III. Exactly the same stuff they're saying. Point.
And we don't ever really see that. We never really see.
What's happened is education. The public has learned that this is what Photoshop can do. We've adapted.
Mm-hmm.
It will change things for sure, but it's not the end of the world. And this is the thing that I didn't
for the record,
like.
I'm not suggesting it's like going to be a huge catastrophic problem.
Oh, no. But all the news, I mean, they love harping on the, like,
Yeah.
oh, someone could make a video of Donald Trump saying he's just launched a nuclear warhead, and then it's going to actually start, like they're jumping to like the craziest scenarios that like video is like, I just don't see how it's any different to photos, and we adapt it to photos. When you see a billboard of a sexy girl, like, that she's been airbrushed. Everybody knows she's been airbrushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the same with a video. It's
yeah, but it's like, I feel that video is kind of like the last bastion of reality, It's like...
Yeah.
And obviously as visual effects artists, we are pushing the border of that.
But that's entertainment versus politics. If it's in politics, then it's like, yo, like, I already don't trust what I don't really watch the news, to be honest, but like, someone else is telling me something, I'm like, let me look into that, and if they're like looking into it as an article or a video or a speech or whatever, like, maybe they'll just have to do speeches in like disco ball lighting where like it's really hard to do the deep fake on it,
Yeah.
I think the other thing is like, it's exciting and it's cool, but the news is just like jumping over it. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, guys, why aren't we talking about Photoshop? Like, they start the article like, imagine a world where like anyone could make you look like you're doing something, make you look like you're performing sexual acts on somebody else, make you look like you're being violent. And I'm like, you mean like Photoshop? The thing we've had for the last 20 years already?
Yeah.
Like, it'll change things for sure, but it's not. And the other thing, so this is what I was going to say. The consequence for being caught making a fake video, like let's say a political party or Russia wanted to make, I don't know, Donald Trump. Like, there's a video of Donald Trump in an elevator punching his wife, right? Okay, let's say that happens, right? The consequence of being caught making a fake, as in it goes up online, but then experts look at it and they break it down and then they show video that it's been faked. The consequence of that looks terrible for you.
Yeah.
So you have to nail it perfectly in order to pull it off.
Yeah.
And if it was in a court case, like if you had somebody like trying to frame somebody for murder or something, then you're in really deep trouble.
That is a very good point, yeah.
Like, so the consequence is huge. So that's stacked, like, that's preventing a lot of people from trying it. Because a lot of people aren't video experts.
It's not preventing the White House from doing it.
No?
Well, they did that video where it's like they sped up the footage a little bit, so it made it look like the guy like karate chopped a woman's arm.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was immediately found out though.
It was
that was embarrassingly bad.
It was. It was. Yeah.
That was so dumb.
That was like found out like the day of.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could tell that was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying like it's not a big deal. Like, it's gonna change things. It's I was just surprised, like reading on Twitter, like all these friends in the industry. Oh, it's the end of the thing. I'm like, what about Photoshop? We're talking about this.
Well, it's the same argument about how like, oh, AI is gonna take all our jobs. It's like, it's not gonna take them as much as just morph them.
Yeah, change them a bit.
Yeah.
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 And
people are averse to change anyways. I mean, it's gonna change, and we'll figure it out. We'll adapt.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, if you enjoyed that, there's a lot more where that came from. We got a couple other clips, or even the entire full podcast that you can watch or listen to with Andrew Price, the Blender Guru. We go into a lot more in-depth discussions on all kinds of things, from talking about photorealism, what makes a texture, to things like running a business. It was a great discussion. If you're interested, check it out.